The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Optavia team.
Hi, I'm Shirley. I'm a certified Optavia coach. You might be aware of the incredible results our clients are experiencing with Optavia, and maybe you're interested in learning how you might be able to become a health coach yourself. Or you might have a friend who's a health coach, and maybe you've noticed that health coaches just seem to love their job, and you're intrigued to learn more. Or you might be interested in learning more about a good business opportunity to help you achieve your financial goals. Well, if so, these next 20 minutes or so are for you. So welcome. And as many of you know, there are so many people out there who aren't happy with their physical and mental health. They aren't happy with their financial health either. And as an Optavia coach, you get to make a difference not only in you and your family's lives, but in the lives of everyone that you know. So you might be asking, who is Optavia? Well, we're many things. We're a community of people who knows what it's like to have challenges in their health, but we're also a community of people who have found something that works. We're a company committed to providing solutions for creating health and helping people transform their lives. We're a group of coaches, health professionals, and clients who come from all backgrounds, professions, all walks of life, but we have one thing in common, and that is the desire to improve health and the health of those around them. So we're also a company that's committed to providing solutions for creating optimal health with over 12,000 Optavia coaches and healthcare professionals. Our co-founder is Dr. Wayne Anderson. He's a New York Times best-selling author, so he's a name that may be familiar to you. And he's on a mission to help get America healthy through lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And we are really excited about that as health coaches. Now, Medifast is our parent company. And you may recognize that name as well. We've been a leader in safe and effective proven products for over 30 years. Our products and programs are recommended by over 20,000 doctors since 1980, with a program that's clinically proven effective by researchers and major universities. We're an American company that owns its own research and development, manufacturing and warehousing facilities, and we're kind of proud of that. We're also a New York Stock Exchange company, and we're ranked as one of the most trustworthy companies by Forbes in 2016 and 2017. I'm a little proud of that too. So let's talk a little bit more about our program. So our coaching uses a combination of one-on-one, team, and community support for our clients, providing guidance and encouragement. The coach focuses on the client's values, needs, visions, and goals in three principal areas. And we talk about that being the trilogy of optimal health and well-being. So that's healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And our community of coaches are striving to not only improve areas of their own lives, but to also improve the lives of all that they connect with. So there's several key elements to becoming physically healthy, and this is going to sound familiar to a lot of you. There's healthy weight, healthy eating, healthy emotion, healthy sleep, and healthy stress reduction. And a healthy body aspect of our program really is where my story began. So about 7 years ago, my physician introduced the program to me. And he said to me, Shirley, I think this program is going to help you. Now, those of you that are watching the webinar can already see from the picture on the left, my health was at a desperate place. I weighed close to 400 pounds, and I had resigned myself to life as I thought it would be. In other words, I thought that I was probably at the age of 48 not going to see my 50th birthday. And so I had learned to live my life resigned to what I thought I couldn't change. And so I was scrapbooking with great intentionality. I was certain that my grandchildren and I would never get to meet. And I wanted very much for them to know who their grandmother was. And so I was certain the only way that they would get to know me was through my albums, because my health was at such a desperate place. So when I started, when my physician introduced me to the program, you'd have thought I'd have jumped right on board, but I figured it was just one more thing that wouldn't work for me. And I was really certain that this would not make any kind of a significant difference in my life. But 2 weeks into the program, that all changed. 2 weeks in, I realized I felt good. I was really pleased with how quickly the weight was coming off. I didn't have cravings anymore. I wasn't hungry between meals. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is gonna work for me. And as you can see by the pictures, indeed it did. I lost 215 pounds on this program 5 years ago. And it has transformed my life in more ways than I have time to tell you about today. But one of the things that I'm really thrilled about is the fact that not only do I have vibrant health, but I am getting to meet my grandchildren. I can sit on the floor to play with my granddaughter and get back up again. And Lord willing, I'm going to dance at her wedding one day because of the vibrant physical health that this program has given to me. Now, there's been some pretty other impressive changes as well as I've started health coaching, but this physical transformation is something that's very near and dear to my heart. And it could be, you may be listening to this story and saying, I don't know people that need to lose 200 pounds. That's okay. You have friends who have 20, 30 pounds that they can't quite figure out how to deal with that challenge. And this program works really well for them. Now, moving on from the physical healthy transformation of the body, let's talk a little bit about the healthy mind. The healthy mind is the second part of our trilogy of optimal health. And what we know, what research has confirmed, is that a person can be physically, they can be at an ideal weight, they can be eating right, exercising, but if they're overstressed, they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled, that can affect their overall health and well-being. Having a healthy mind and being mindful that we need to care for ourselves is a really important habit of health. And we refer to that within Optavia as having a healthy mind and talking about organizing our life around what matters most to you. For some of you, when I said that phrase, that really resonated in your heart, didn't it? Now, the third part of our trilogy all has to do with financial health. Financial well-being is really about a sense of financial security and a lack of worry. It's not necessarily about an absolute measure of wealth. It's the perception that you have more than enough money to do what you really want to do. Now, everyone knows that someone doesn't need to have money in order to be happy, but a lack of money can have a really negative impact on one's health. And we talk about financial health as living an abundant life. And in a moment or two, I'll give you an opportunity to hear from two people who have transformed themselves both in the healthy mind area and also in the healthy finances area as well. So Optavia, as many of you know, means the optimal way. And as I mentioned before, our goal is to get America healthy and then the world. And we all work together. As a health coach, you're never alone. You're working the business with your team of business mentors and our healthy community. So what would be involved for you as being a health coach? Well, here's some of the benefits. I'll tell you, one of the things that I have loved about coaching is that not only can I show others the way, I'm building a growing business that can really has impacted my life in all areas of well-being. But I'm also surrounded by this really great community of people who are like-minded, like-hearted. This is one of the things that our coaches talk to us about the most. They love this community of support as the coaches are working together on a common goal. And for me, health coaching has really been an incredible reinforcement of my own physical health. It has really kind of plugged me into this community of support and accountability that has been fabulous for me personally. It's also given me an opportunity to really achieve a level of fulfillment, because I really am being able to make a huge difference in other people's lives as I help them move forward. And it's given some real meaning and purpose to me. I've loved the opportunity to coach, and I think many of you will really like that as well. So let's talk a little bit about what the potential could be for you. Now, the same thing that supports you as a client, your health coach, your healthy habits, your healthy community, your fuelings will also support you as a coach. So you'll be just simply demonstrating the coaching support that you received if you've already been a client of our program. And if you haven't, that's okay. We'll teach those things to you. And I think you'll love this community of support. You'll hear me mention that a lot. But I've got to tell you, it's one of the most compelling things that we offer as a health coach is this level of support. You'll have a system to support your clients. And I got to tell you, our coaches are on a mission. We're pretty serious about this desire to get America healthy and to pay it forward by helping others. So as a health coach, you'll just be connecting with those that are ready for health. You're going to be putting them on the path to lifelong transformation with our support tools and so on, connecting them in with our community, and coaching them on their journey and celebrating their successes. So here's some of the advantages to becoming a health coach. For one thing, I found I got freedom and flexibility. I can work anywhere and at any time and around my schedule. I love that flexibility. As a health coach, you get to help others and be compensated for it. And you don't have to worry about things like territories or inventories. You are not restricted to any geographical area. We've got clients all across the United States, and you can be coaching your friends who are all across the United States. And you'll also enjoy the benefits of running a home-based business. If you've got more questions about this, talk with your accountant or your tax professional. They can give you some more information on that. But as agents of transformation, Optavia coaches help others succeed along their optimal well-being journey. So the more people that you reach, the more lives you touch, the more you may be rewarded for your efforts. So let's take a quick overview of what that might look like for you and the number of lives that could be transformed and how you might be rewarded financially in the process. So let's look at scenario number one. Let's say you just want to help your family members, a few close friends. Think, okay, do I know 4 or 6 people who might benefit by what Optavia has to offer? And would you be interested in helping to transform those lives? Well, if the answer is yes, you could potentially earn between $300 to $500 for coaching 4 to 6 people. Now, when I asked that question about, do you know 4 to 6 people, you might have said to yourself, surely I don't know 4 to 6 people, I know like 50. Well, we'll go small steps at a time. So let's say you wanted to help 11 to 17 people and help transform their lives. So you're thinking a little bit larger reach, and 11 to 17 people who might be looking to improve their health and well-being. So by helping those people, you could be potentially earning between $1,000 and $2,000 a month. Now, the income disclosure statement that you see here on this next slide is a document that we use when we're explaining the income opportunity to prospective coaches. And it's designed to ensure transparency around Optavia's income opportunity. So if you'd like to see more about this or have more questions on this, please connect with the person who invited you onto the call to learn more, and they can give you a copy of this as well. Now, we often say to our clients, we'll say, well, once you get started on the program, people are going to start asking you, what are you doing? You look fantastic. And at that point, our clients can refer their friends to their Optavia coach, or they could begin to pay it forward and become a coach themselves. We do find that at some point our clients do want to pay it forward, whether it's right away or in a few weeks once they're experiencing some success. And the thing that's cool is becoming an Optavia coach means you get to help others and you'll be accountable to your own program. So as you're coaching people and helping them on their program, it helps you keep your own commitment level high. You've heard me share already how that's made a real huge impact for me. And the next person who's going to share his story did just that. He was someone who was on our program, was seeing some really great results, and decided to pay it forward. And I'd love for you to get to hear how it's impacted his life and the life of the people around him. So Matt, share with us a little bit more of your story.
Hey, thanks so much for the opportunity, Shirley. I think like many people, I came into Optavia just wanting to feel better. I wanted to feel better. I wanted to look better. My wife, Audrey, and I, we'd struggled for 20 years trying to figure out how to get healthy. It wasn't for lack of trying. We tried everything. And one of Audrey's friends was just so thrilled with her progress that she just put it out on Facebook. I can't believe what's happening. And it inspired Audrey. It gave Audrey, some hope that maybe this could work for her. And so we got connected with our health coach. Initially, the program really worked for us. Like all of a sudden, I started to feel better, pretty quickly. And I started to get some hope that, if I can really help myself, change this part of my life, what else could I improve in my life? And as I really plugged into the support of our system and the habits of health, I really started to make that shift from that diet mentality to a health mentality. And physically, we were getting really healthy. I lost 50 pounds on the program. Audrey lost 100 pounds on the program. But there were other areas in my life that I really wanted to work on and improve. And one of those was my stress level. I owned my own company at the time. I was working about 60 or 70 hours a week. And, my stress level was just through the roof. Physically, I was in the best shape that I had been in years. Mentally, I was kind of a wreck. And as Shirley had mentioned before, you can't hide this kind of results. Like, I was the worship leader at my church at the time, and people were asking, like, what are you doing? And, I'm like, you got to talk to my coach. You got to talk to my coach. And what Shirley helped me realize as my coach was that, if I were to become a health coach, how that would just reinforce my decision to stay healthy and to make those improvements. And so we made the decision that we were going to start helping our friends and our family. And what has transpired in that time is that, I have just really made working on my healthy habits the priority. And it's allowed me to become a full-time health coach. And so that stress of running that company, of never having any time and always, worrying about that's gone away. And now I spend my time helping other people succeed, helping other people find that hope and find that desire to keep improving their life. And it has absolutely transformed our lives. I feel like I'm a better dad now. I'm a better husband. And I just am so excited and full of hope for what this is going to mean for our future, because I now have the time to spend with my family and to help other people along on their journey as well. And I'm just so very grateful.
Matt, thank you so much for sharing your story. I love hearing your story. And for some of you listening to this, you might think, wow, that sounds really incredible. But the reality is we hear stories like this on a regular basis of lives transformed. And you might be saying to yourself, well, this sounds really great. I would love to explore this more. I'm ready to pay it forward. Well, how do I get started now as an Optavia coach, and what do I receive? Those are good questions. So you'll receive the support, the training, the mentorship to be able to coach and support others. You'll also be rewarded for your efforts. The more people you help, the more people you'll be able to earn, the more that you'll be able to earn. And you'll also receive the tools and materials to get started as a health coach. And for an investment of just $200, you can immediately begin to pay it forward to those around you. Now, whether or not you've already been a client on our program already, you might decide that you want to go ahead and start paying it forward. It really only takes a minute or two to get started. So if you're wondering what to do next, really what you'd want to do is get back in touch with your health coach or whoever it was that invited you to hear this webinar. You can join us today if you're ready to get started. Remember, this is all about looking at possibilities and getting you back in the driver's seat of your life. What could living an abundant life mean to you? As an Optavia coach, you have the opportunity to start shaping your future and to take control of your finances, all while helping other people to get healthy. So before we close, I'd love to give you an opportunity to hear from someone who's transformed her life and is now living more abundantly because of Optavia. Samantha, Sam, I'd love to hear from you next.
Hey guys, oh my gosh, thank you so much for allowing me to share my story with everyone. Me and Harold, our story, our transformation is not very conventional. And yes, we totally have a health transformation. This program took us absolutely to the next level. But the transformation that we hold most dear to our hearts is the one that healed a home and actually stopped financial and spiritual leaks in our life. You see, a few years ago, we found ourselves exhausted. For the third time in 10 years of being with my husband, I saw him cry. Only this time, it was the first time that I saw him cry because he was fearful of what our future would look like. He was absolutely spent. And what we realized was there's nothing healthy about just getting by. You see, our once vibrant an abundant brick and mortar business was draining the life out of us, quite honestly. And it was draining our bank account. And Harold had just told me if things didn't turn around in 6 months, that we might not have a business and we also might not have a home. But we are blessed, and we knew that this was God's way of saying, switch your focus. We had been given this opportunity a couple of years before our life shifted so dramatically. You see, but when we found it, we initially thought, oh, Optavia will be plan B. And, you know, it was a plan B for helping people get healthy. It was a plan B for achieving some extra financial health. But at the most critical time of our life, we decided to make our plan B plan A. And what started out as a simple way for me to just earn a little extra money and have some fun helping people from my phone. And maybe, just maybe, but I wasn't even willing to admit that I wanted this, maybe get me home a few days with my girls. But this path for what started out for just a little bit turned into a lot. It turned into a path for emotional and financial freedom. As we stepped further and further into action, we saw more and more lives being touched. When we trusted the process, people got healthy. When we trusted the process, people were set free. When we trusted the process, our plan B ended up being the plan that would not only bring mamas home, but actually brought daddies home, and even allowed us to reopen our hearts to the dream of having our third baby, which we had given up on because we actually thought that we couldn't even afford to have a third baby. So our plan B taught us how to choose joy and a life of service, and no matter how big the resistance seemed, through doing so, we have assisted other parents to come home too. So, you know what, when I lost my mother and my two sisters during the years of us building our practice, Optavia actually became a light for me and my family. It kept us on course, and the rewards and the life that can be gained through this process are so huge, it's hard to measure. But if we must, I will just kind of say that, you know what, this summer, we didn't have to compromise on a family vacation. And when our kids asked us to take a 2-week road trip out to the West, Harold did not cry about it. So you see, and we have our home, we have our babies, and we have such an abundant life. And this opportunity truly leaves no man or woman behind. It didn't leave us behind.
Sam, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And for those of you who were listening to Matt and Sam's stories and it really touched your heart and you're thinking, you know, I'd really like to be part of this too. Well, if you're ready to coach, we're ready to help you. So your next step will be to connect with your health coach or the person who shared this webinar with you, and they will help you with the next steps and support you along the way as you learn the skills that you need in order to become a great coach. So we hope you found this to be helpful. If health coaching is something that sounds exciting to you, we welcome you to join the Optavia team.
The following audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some Optavia coaches or clients of Optavia. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the Optavia team.